Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is Sportsdom coming back with another video. And this is my Ohio State Buckeyes at Michigan State Spartans Week 4 preview. Or Week 5, I'm sorry, Week 5 preview. Uh, so the Michigan State Spartans coming off of a 23-19 loss last week at Boston College. It was a good game, back and forth, back and forth. Michigan State had the ball with goal to go, and Aiden Childs overthrew his receiver in the end zone, intercepted by Boston College, and that was the ball game. He threw 3 interceptions again in this game. They got to settle him down and stop the interceptions. He did run in a touchdown, and then they kicked mostly field goals, but this is a tough test now for the Michigan State Spartans. You know, Ohio State is a very good team, and Michigan State hasn't had very much success against Ohio State. They have beaten them a few times, but they don't have very much success against Ohio State. We don't play Penn State this year, which is weird because we usually always play Penn State. But I'm happy we don't have to play the Penn State Nittany Lions. But we do have Oregon Ducks next week, so we got a short week. We're coming off of a long week because we played on Friday last week against Boston College. I think it was Saturday. Okay, next week's Friday. So yeah, so we're coming off of a regular week, but I said that was going to be a good game. It was a close game, closer than I wanted. The Boston College Eagles scored off of turnovers, and it seemed like the Michigan State defense just couldn't get off the field. I mean, they were gassed. And I think Ohio State, you know, if the defense can keep this game close, and I think they can, just like they did against Boston College, I think Michigan State might have a chance. I think Jonathan Smith is drilling in their heads, you know, that they got to dig down deep. They got to find a way. And I think they will. Aiden Childs has to stop throwing interceptions. It's just got to be that way. He has to stop throwing interceptions, period. End of story. Whether he likes it or not, he has to stop throwing INTs. And the offense has to step up. They have to help the defense out. The defense can't keep doing it week after week after week. The offense has to step up, just like they did against Maryland, just like they did against Florida Atlantic and Prairie View A&M. The defense carried them against Florida Atlantic, Maryland, and Boston College. The only way the offense helped them out was the only game the offense helped them out was against the Prairie View A&M Panthers. But we have to stop the turnovers. Aiden Childs got to stop it. I know he's only 19 now. He just turned 19, but got to stop the turnovers. So the Michigan State Spartans, they won week 1 against Florida Atlantic 16-10. They won week 2. They went into Maryland and come out 27-24 winners. Then they beat the Prairie View A&M Panthers 40-0 to start off 3-0. Then they lost last week to the Boston College Eagles in Boston College, or at Boston College, 23-19. And now in just a few hours, it's the Ohio State Buckeyes versus the Michigan State Spartans. Big game. The Ohio State Buckeyes are huge favorites. This game is on Peacock. So, like I said, it should be fun. And I want to see the defense keep it close. I want to see Aiden Childs bounce back from that three interception game that came back to haunt the Michigan State Spartans. And I would like to see him lead a game-winning drive just like he did against Maryland in Maryland, against Ohio State. If he could beat the Ohio State Buckeyes, wouldn't that be something for this young kid? Beating a team like the Ohio State Buckeyes. Um, Jonathan Smith needs a huge, huge win like this in his tenure as Michigan State head coach. It's going to be a very tough test, but I think the defense can keep the Michigan State Spartans in this game. They've been, superb as of late. Even last week against Boston College, the Spartans lost, but the defense kept them in. All Aiden Childs had to do was throw that touchdown pass, and they would have had the lead with less than a minute to go. And he overthrew his wide open receiver right into the waiting arms of a Boston College Eagle, and game, set, match. That was that. But I want to see Aiden Childs have a good game. I want to see Kyron Smith Adams, I think his name is, have a good game. Nathan Carter as well. In the offense, I want to see them get going. Charles Brantley had a heck of a game at Boston College. Alante Brown as well, our wide receiver. Antonio Gates Jr., I want to see have a monster game against Ohio State, but he doesn't get the ball enough, and I don't know why. Nikai Martinez, our defensive back. Chris Bogle, he's one I'll be watching in this game. See if they can stop the run against Ohio State. Aiden Childs has to be almost perfect. They have to settle him down somehow. They have to dig down deep and find a way to put points on the board to beat Ohio State. Jeremiah Hughes, our defensive back, I need him to have a monster game. I need our wide receivers, Montorie Foster Jr. and Jerron Glover, to have huge, huge games. Nate Carter, he's the running back. He's from Rochester, New York. Went to Bishop Kearney, and he's playing for the Michigan State Spartans. I will be keeping an eye on him, our running back. Linebacker Jordan Turner. I don't have any updates on the players. If there's any news on the injury front, I don't have that right now. Throughout the day, I'm going to try and look and get that information for both teams, for the Ohio State Buckeyes and for the Michigan State Spartans, for the injury front. But the defense is going to have to be key, I think, in this game. Again, Ken Talley, he's another good defensive back, one of my favorite defensive backs on this team. And K'Ron Lynch Adams, I want to see him just have a monster. I want to see him have the biggest game of his career today against Ohio State. Jalen Thompson, too, our other defensive back. These guys got to step up against Ohio State because this is a high-powered offense, just like Maryland was. We were a big underdog against Maryland. We're at home and we're still the underdog. But Ohio State at Michigan State, big game. Guys, get Peacock, check it out. If you don't have Peacock, you got to get it because they have, WWE on there. They have all kinds of sports on there. Guys, it's fun. It's only $5 a month too. So, but yeah, so players I'll be watching in this game are Aiden Childs, Kayron Lynch Adams, Jerron Glover, um, Antonio Gates Jr., and Jordan Turner, our linebacker. We need to go to 4-1 and beat Ohio State. It was a fluke interception that cost us the game in Boston College. You know, Aiden Childs, he cost us that game. I gotta be honest. You know, it was just cruel. Every time we had a chance to put up like 40 points, every time we were down there, he would turn the ball over. Every time we'd get inside the 20, boom, turnover. It's like, what the hell? But he did have a rushing touchdown. But I want to see them settle him down because this is a big game. We're going to need him to throw that ball and be accurate. So, you know, this is probably one of the toughest games on this schedule for the Michigan State Spartans. It's going to be a short week because then we go play Friday at the Oregon Ducks. So that's that's not going to be a fun one. Winnable, but it's not going to be a fun one. You know, and they got to shut down Ohio State players like David Adolph, the wide receiver, Deontay Armstrong, their line. You know, Jaden Ballard, they have to stop him. You know, they got to shut these Devin Brown. They got to be able to get to Devin Brown. He's 6'3", 212 pounds. I don't know if he's a starter for Ohio State, but they have him listed high up on the depth chart. So I'm looking at their roster right now. Emike Egbuka, they have to shut him down. Like I said, it is going to be a tough test. But they've been in all of their games. They have one blowout win. And that was against Prairie View A&M Panthers. They got to be able to rebound, though, from that loss at Boston College. They got to be able to rebound. They got to be able to come back from adversity. I think the defense is going to keep them in it. It's going to be, what does the offense do? Can Aiden Childs lead them on a game-winning drive against the Ohio State Buckeyes, just like he did against the Maryland Terrapins? I think it's going to come down to, we're going to have the ball last. We're going to have to get a lead. We're gonna have to get a lead early. We're gonna have to get a lead early. It's going to be tough to do that, but we're gonna have to get a lead early, and we're gonna have to keep our foot on the gas. We can't let up. Once you have a lead on Ohio State, you got to keep scoring and keep scoring and keep scoring. You can't take your foot off the gas. I think Jonathan Smith is going to have them ready. But besides the turnovers, we have to stop with these damn stupid penalties. The penalties are killing us. The turnovers are killing us. Aiden Childs came over from Oregon State with Jonathan Smith and a few others. They have to stop the penalties. They can't get into penalty trouble against Ohio State. Ohio State will take advantage of that. And Ohio State will put points on the board, so we have to score points. I think we need the ball last, and I think Aiden Childs needs to lead us on a game-winning drive. We'll see if he can do that. I think they rebound. It's going to be a close game, though, I think. But it could go the other way. I mean, it could slip away if we're not careful. This game could I mean, this could be a blowout for Ohio State. I'm not saying it will be, and knock on wood that it isn't. I'm just saying that it could be because Ohio State is that kind of team. But I think Jonathan Smith is going to go over the tape from last week, what they did wrong. I think we're going to fix it. I just want to have a good close game against Ohio State, whether we fall to 3-2, whether we go to 4-1. But guys, I want to beat Ohio State so bad. I know it's a tough game. This is the Ohio State, slaps us around all the time. They play us, So, but we have had a few wins against Ohio State. But stop the turnovers, stop the penalties, and the defense has to keep it close so Aiden Childs can lead his team down the field and score touchdowns. So guys, comment in the comment section below on what you think. And as always, if you like my videos, like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you don't miss a video. Of course, this is Sports Dom saying peace. Go Spartans. I'll see you in my Ohio State Buckeyes at Michigan State Spartans post-game recap. Hopefully, I'm talking about a win. Go Spartans. Beat the Buckeyes.